Hello, everybody. I'm Patty Korman. I am a public school teacher in Lake County schools, and my project is based off of the idea that many educators hold that poverty is the cause of low school performance. I use this project as an opportunity to investigate that. And so I started out with the school performance data from public instruction, and I went ahead and made a layer for each grade of the school. So we have the A schools, which are the green dots. We have B and C schools, which I cut off for the moment. Um, then, because they are mostly in these kind of beige areas out here. Matter of fact, I can show you that very briefly. There you go. And then the C schools also, but they are starting to be in a little closer to the communities of color, which you will see in yellow. And this is an Asian population that we have in Cary. And then um, D are the blue dots, and F are the red stars. And these are the lowest performing schools in the state. And initially, though, my hypothesis was that we would see that they would match up with the high poverty areas. And so I started out with the poverty data, which I can show you here. And it does match up pretty well, but there were a lot of discrepancies out in these rural areas. Like, see this one right here by Ashboro, and here's one down here by Sanford. And there were just a lot. Here's one down here in Dunn. There were a lot of like outliers that where here are some. This is an sort of impoverished area with an A school right here in Wilkesboro, impoverished school. This phenomenon was really strong out here in the mountains, and so I was like, how is it that these impoverished schools are doing really well out here in the mountains? And I remembered something that I heard in a training one time. It said that it's not poverty, that it's race that affects school performance the most. And so I was like, I wonder if the census has the race data. Turns out they do. And when I put the race data in with my data, bam, this accounted for all of those strange phenomena. So then I looked for clusters of both poor performing schools and really good performing schools. So I checked clusters for A schools and F schools. And you will notice that the A school clusters are in are not in communities of color. They're out here in the beige lands and around the edges of the beige lands. And you will notice the exact opposite, which is that clusters of low performing schools are in communities of color. Here's a cluster in Raleigh, there's a cluster in Durham, there's a couple clusters in Greensboro. Um, this shows to me that it is actually race instead of poverty. There are some outliers though, and so we want to look at like this little guy right here, this green school right here in Winston. We want to look at him under a microscope and find out what they're doing to reach these students and use those strategies in these red schools over here so that we can get everybody an equitable and good education.